Northwestern will face Wisconsin in the second round of the Big Ten tournament. After their win over Minnesota in the very sleepy opening game yesterday, this should be a game that should be a little more interesting, largely because I'm very curious how Wisconsin is going to respond. They had a very disappointing end to the regular season. They could have had a double bye in this tournament, and instead they got kind of punked on their own court at the Kohl Center on senior day to a Penn State team that was playing together for the last time this entire season. So we shall see what version of Wisconsin shows up. They've alternated wins and losses their final 5 games of the regular season. The last time these two teams played, the only time they met this year, Wisconsin won by just 6 points in Evanston against Northwestern. Jalen Leach was on the court for that game, and he was the KenPom MVP in that game. So Leach's absence should be loud in this game. Is this one that you have any sort of concerns for the favorite for? Like, there are some games we kind of circle like, should be scared. Should Wisconsin be scared of Northwestern coming into this game?
The only thing that gives me cause that they should be somewhat worried is I really trust defensive game plans from Northwestern and the defensive team that Northwestern can be. I think Chris Collins is really, really good at taking the best player from the other team out of basketball games, or at least putting in a spot where that player is isolated and other players kind of don't hurt you, I guess is how I would put it. But I think one of the worst things for Northwestern in this case is that Wisconsin actually dropped that last game at home to Penn State, because that was kind of like the wake up call ish type game where I feel like Greg Gard is like, oh, you guys think he doesn't cuss. You guys think your poop is better than everybody else's or something like that. It stinks just like everybody else's poop. So I think there's a little bit of that factor into this. So, you know, I don't think you can count Northwestern out in this basketball game by any means, but I do think they're fighting an uphill battle in this one, given how effective Wisconsin is offensively and how I expect them to react and respond in a positive way to that home loss that they took against Penn State.
Yeah. I think so too. Like I trust Greg Gard, John Tanji, and basically everyone on Wisconsin to like not be flat multiple games in a row. They're too good for that. They're too efficient offensively. They can score from everywhere. They're big. Tanji's a tough guy to deal with. Like, and if he's off, then they got Blackwell. Like they're just, the profile is not a team that should just lay an egg twice in a row. At the same time, Northwestern's a team I really trust that they're going to go out fighting, but I don't know that I trust that they will necessarily be able to play like to a high end stuff multiple games in a row. The good news for them, I don't think they played well against Minnesota. So if you think Northwestern has like a game in this tournament in the chamber, I don't think they've gone to it yet. Do you agree with me on that?
You don't think they necessarily played well against Minnesota?
Shot 28% from three, 54% from the free throw line.
Yeah, I guess that is fair to say. But I guess okay, for starters, who on Northwestern are you putting on Tanji?
Probably Mullins, right?
Put Mullins on him. I guess he
Six
has.
six 200.
That's probably the best option, right?
I don't hate that.
Okay, so Tanji overs.
Mullins did play 25 minutes off the bench for Northwestern, and that was kind of before he got the big role in the Wisconsin game last time. Tanji had 27 points, though.
Yeah, so yeah. So I think Tanji
Blackwell
could.
stunk in the first meeting.
Blackwell did stink. If Blackwell stinks in the first meeting, though, he's usually going to be good in the second meeting because that guy's got a couple Trey Holloman's talking to him in his head. But um
Does he?
Blackwell?
Like, if we were doing, like, whose voices does he hear in his head? I would have thought Blackwell hears Adam Scott's Innie from Severance.
Nah, he hears Trey Holloman's talking about push him.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I do. But look, this Wisconsin team, like I said, they had that setback, but this team is really effective offensively. They run really great stuff. They know how to get their guys in matchups. And, outside of that letdown at Penn State, they've gotten to this point where they've been able to get Tanji and Blackwell playing well at the same time. Also, is Max Klesmit back for the Big Ten tournament?
He is supposed to be. I'm going to be very curious what his role is, though. I don't exactly trust it.
That does mean something, I think, for Wisconsin because as good as Kamari McGee is as like a spark plug type guy, I think him being forced into a role that he doesn't need to be in because they're without Max Klesmit does kind of mean something for this team. So I think it'll be interesting to see what his role is coming back from that lower body injury.
Yeah. You're not a big Jack Janicki guy?
I mean, I love a good glass of Janicki with, a nice pasta,
I'm
but
going to say a little Janickian diet.
nothing like a little Janicki and die. You know what I'm saying? How
All
you
right.
doing?
All right. Um, can I do my thing where I try to make you skeptical of a team that I'm clearly just going to pick when we get to predictions?
Is it going to be the whole I'm skeptical of Wisconsin thing?
Yeah. Can I do my thing on that?
I just want to make sure
In this game, I want to do
in
my
this
thing on that.
game. And then, okay, go ahead, go forward.
Does it scare you at all that in the first meeting, Northwestern led 46 to 38, and then Wisconsin went on a 33 to 14 run? But Northwestern led by 8 with 13 minutes left in the game, looking like they're going to get a win, and then Wisconsin just went nuclear for 10 minutes.
That game was in Evanston, right?
Game was in Evanston.
Doesn't concern me because I remember watching that game, and I'm glad you could confirm that. John Tanji said it's time, and he turned up.
Okay. All right.
They don't have anything for Tanji.
It would scare me a little bit. Just a smidge.
A smidge.
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge. Okay, what? Why else should I be skeptical?
No, I have no other reasons than that.
That's it.
I think the first game of this, the only game of this series, was played on Northwestern's terms.
But this game's not in Evanston.
I think Wisconsin won a game on Northwestern's terms, though, and that would scare me that maybe they could slow it down, do it again, because we know this Wisconsin team loves to run. Northwestern wants to slow it down.
Do you not trust what? I mean, actually, I know the answer to that. You don't trust Wisconsin, correct?
I trust this Wisconsin team more than any Wisconsin team I've seen in 10 years.
So with that said, don't you trust them to, not let the slow play kind of throw them out of rhythm? Because even if they do have to play slow, I trust them in the half court to be able to do, get to their spots and guys have chances to get to their spot and make plays and make shots.
I don't trust anything about them. And I do trust them more than any Wisconsin team I've seen in a decade. But, Cart, they just lost at home to Penn State with a double bye on the line. And that's the team you want me to trust? Like,
They want they want to play more basketball.
you could tell me that this Wisconsin team's outlook is, oh, we care way more about the NCAA tournament than this. We'll take a couple extra days. I wouldn't be stunned by that. At the same time, we saw this team make a run to the Big Ten tournament championship game last year. I wouldn't be stunned if they win the whole thing this year. Like, I don't know. I know they're good. I know they're good. That Penn State result was just so shocking to me. Like, I'm not rushing to buy low on them because I do think losing that game tells you something about how they're wired.
Yeah, I do. But I also in that same token, like I mentioned to start this, I look for Greg Gard and I look for this team to use that basically though. Like they use that to understand that they can lose to teams like Penn State
Yeah.
if they're not playing to the level they need to play.
I think the one thing I would say too, Penn State went insane. They shot 58% from three in that win, 56% from two. But I think that's what Wisconsin's vulnerable against. They are vulnerable against teams that can just outscore them. Because I think Wisconsin just wants to get to 90. I don't even think they really lock in and guard that much. So do you think Northwestern can do that? Like it's just Martinelli, basically. I don't know that Northwestern's the team that could like beat Wisconsin 90 to 85.
No, if they're going to win this game, it needs to be a little bit like, game. What is it called? Game bitch grimy. GG.
Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
that.
grimy.
What do you think the temp will be in Gamebridge for this one?
Ooh, I'm gonna say 71.
What do you think the temp is for Northwestern's players in their hotel rooms right now?
So instead of it being super hot, it's just super cold.
What do you think the temp is for Wisconsin players in their hotel rooms right now?
I think they're in their dorms.
I was going to say super cold, but by choice. Like Northwestern's players are shivering like why hotel, and Wisconsin's players are just like this is like cold. We wanted 52 degrees.
It's like being on Lily's for ice party. Can I ask you one last question before we get to the prediction?
Of course, my friend.
Who do you trust more, Greg Gard or Chris Collins?
Chris Collins.
No questions
No,
asked.
no, I don't. I lied. Greg Gard.
Okay, good.
I just wanted to feel that one out, saying it out loud.
There you go. You got
You
to the
trust Chris Collins more, don't you?
no. I trust Greg. I trust Greg Gard more.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a Greg Gard truther now.
What does that mean?
Like, if you want to talk shit about Gard, you got to go through me first.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought about changing my IG handle to Bodyguard. It's fire, right?
You're like a guardian angel.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was something. Greg Gard is a great coach, though. Like, truly.
Yeah, no, he is. Truly, he
Yeah.
needs more respect.
He was my vote for Big Ten Coach of the Year a week ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Then Penn State happened.
And
Also,
then
let's not act like Chris Collins didn't win Big Ten Coach of the Year last year.
he did. That was he
That
boo
was
boo.
really Boo's award, though.
Yeah, he boo booed his way to that. Also, wasn't Boo Boo Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah. Crazy. All right, let's get to predictions. Kenneth Pomeroy himself says that Wisconsin should win this game by 6 points on a neutral. That's exactly what they won at Northwestern. Cart, this is an oddity. Ken Pom says the score should be exactly what it was the first game. 75-69, exact same script. What do you think the outcome of this game will be?
Kenneth, I will take Wisconsin to win this basketball game. Wisconsin to cover in this basketball game. I'll take Wisconsin 80, Northwestern 70.
I think Northwestern puts up a dastardly fight for the first half,
A dastardly fight.
and I think Wisconsin wins by 22.
Oh wow.
Same script as the first, like tough, grimy, close game, and then Wisconsin just hits shots for like 10 minutes straight and runs them out.
I can see it.